Hey everyone, welcome back to Titanshield Gaming. Today we are going to be doing a little project I've been thinking about the last few days. We've been getting mighty crowded over here on this platform, this area. We even have a wyvern sitting on top of a base. Now there's a lot of line of sight issues with turrets, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going out there, farming up a little bit, then throwing up an addition on top of the behemoth gates. Now I'm going to make this addition a multi-dino kind of addition. We're going to throw Argents, Pterodons, Griffins, Wyverns, Quetzals, anything pretty much that we can fit in there. We're going to store it up there, so just so it's out of the way. I hate when people come over with Griffins, start griefing. It's not a lot of fun. So stay tuned, guys. Check it out right after this. Hey guys, thanks for coming back and checking out another video on the two-man series second season. I believe this is episode 5. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with getting some more storage space. Now, it's been getting pretty crowded here. I can tell you that right now. I've been having a lot of issues running around, moving things, getting things done because there's dinos everywhere. And then on top of that, there's a lot of line of sight issues. We even have a wyvern here on top of that structure, which is not a good thing at all. So Giant Woody and I are going to go ahead. We're going to do some farming to see exactly what we need to do. But first, I want to thank you guys for coming back, checking out this channel, because we've been getting some pretty nice views in the last few episodes. And I like the fact that there are new people coming in, checking out this story-driven kind of approach I have to ARK, instead of just going out there and constantly PvPing and being a PvP god with my amazing edits. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to continue on this story. Now this is not going to be a kind of video where it's going to be a step-by-step process of it. It's going to be a summary of exactly what we did for that day in order to expand the space. Now as you see down here, someone previously had done that. It's kind of messy. It's not organized as I would like it to be, so the second edition is going to be organized. But first we got to come up here, we got to check out, see exactly how much materials we're going to need. This area is going to be more of a wyvern open cage area. Since wyverns have a huge turning radius, we're going to go ahead and just make it like one side open and then the rest is just going to be closed off, because you can't snipe through these at all, but you can still observe. So if there is someone fobbing up on you, you can actually get up here, check it out, see exactly where they're approaching from, what they're bringing, and communicate it to your trimates down below. So it's a nice little approach to things. But of course, as always, guys, remember, every little thing on here has its negatives. And unfortunately with these, even though they do have 10k health, if you demolish one down below, they all fall. The ones above fall down. So be careful when using this. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to build up the side. I'm going to cut over to where we're going to actually be coming back and having it done, because you don't want to see me snapping in all those things all the time. I did add 4 pillars on each side just to add a little more infrastructure so they can't be collapsed so easily. And then we're gonna work on the second part. Now this part's gonna be where we're gonna be adding in the extra storage, and these ceilings are gonna be laid down on top of that cage area, and that's where we're gonna put our new behemoth gate and then build up and around it. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of work though. I believe I spent quite a lot of time building this up because I had to farm as I used up the resources. So we got our electronics down. I like to make sure that the electronics are relatively clean and out of the way when most structures I build. And by doing that, I actually go ahead and I sandwich the electronics in between the 2 ceilings. Now a lot of you may not know this if you've watched any of my other build videos before. This pillar right here pops up through the top, and it can be used where you can snap another ceiling on top of it, which allows you to have a gap in between the 2 ceilings. So that gap right there will actually cover up your electronics. It'll prevent people from being able to easily destroy them. They will have to blow through the metal in order to destroy them. So it's a nice kind of win-win situation. Keeps everything out of the way, keeps it clean, keeps it organized. And we're going to go ahead and snap down the generator. Now, this generator I'm going to snap down on the first layer before I put in the second one, because if you've ever built a 1x1 box of a generator, the top part just peeks through. So if you build it down on the bottom layer and then put the ceiling snaps into it, it actually comes out just above it. So you have nothing peeking through, no one can really see it. They can hear it, but they can't necessarily see it, which is a nice thing. So now I'm starting to lay in the actual ceiling parts. I'm gonna go ahead and snap in a few things that I need to have a box up there. As you can see, I put started the second layer, but now I'm gonna make sure I can actually get the structure done properly on this electronic generator here. So we're gonna go ahead and snap in these ceilings right there, and it's gonna snap through the actual generator structure, which is nice, which will allow me to go ahead and place this structure around it and keep it all encapsulated pretty easily. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and put a hatch down here next to it, just so that we can get up into that little box area and feed the gas to it whenever we need to, as well as get up to this level from below. So I'm gonna go ahead and snap those the wall in, and then possibly the ceiling, and then the hatches. So we'll get to that once I do it. Okay, I had forgot it down below, so there you go, we got two there. So one's for the bottom part, and then one is for the top part. Now when you put these in, make sure you go ahead and pin lock them, open, close it, make sure everything's working good, and then you back up a little bit, snap in the second one, and then you do the exact same thing. You pin it, do all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna have that there so that someone can still climb up there, put the gas in, but if someone were to get into any of the levels, they still have to blow through two hatches in order to get up into this area. So we're gonna top this off. The generator fits nicely in there, and it's a nice clean solution for a way to go up into your area, as well as a way to cover up your generator. And as you can see there, Giant Woody scared the shit out of me. I thought it was honestly an enemy there for a second. But luckily, that enemy probably would have been toast because of the turrets here, but I don't know. It was pretty funny at the moment. I came down and I gave him a little hell. Alright, now I'm going to close this stuff through, but I'm going to actually have a wire peeking up through the ceiling here because I'm going to be leading it up along a wall area in order to keep that cabling really clean all the way up to the top. So as you see, there's going to be some new turrets placed on top of these hatch frames I put out here. They are going to include more range, especially in the middle part, because the middle part can be barrel rolled in, but you're going to see there's going to be some turrets situated pointing inward, so hopefully if they do manage to barrel in, they're just going to get shredded either way. There's no real point in flying in there. Now comes the long process of throwing up all the turrets, getting the bullets in there, making sure that they're activated and set to the proper properties that you're going to need in order to keep people away from your base. Now, these are really high up off the ground, so I think some of these are going to be a mixture between players only, just in case they are actually on Reapers or any kind of dino that's relatively tall. And they're also going to be on players and dinos, just in case they are trying to get someone on a griffin to run up alongside the place and start shooting in. So it's giving me a mixed match of different things. So hopefully it'll deter enough people away, and these also give a little coverage for the ground. Alright, so Giant Woody and I just came back from a big farm. We filled up the forges with metal and we're melting them down, so now we can continue to build this beauty. Now as you see, I put all the turrets down. They're not powered up exactly yet. We're going to go ahead and do that later. For the moment though, I'm going to be extending all of these walls back here all the way to the front before we put in the behemoth gates, just that we can mosey on the behemoth gate pillars into the actual walls and make it clean. Now I want this to be as clean as possible. I don't want any gaps. And as you see right here, you see that big T shape? The wall right there is actually where the electronics are laid into, so the wall covers the electronics perfectly. So it comes out really nice. Now I'm talking to Giant Woody right here about having fridges in order to have a little hatchery, as well as air conditioners we can have up just above this area so that we can like hatch all of our eggs in. So he's liking it because he's our breeder. He loves breeding tons of stuff, and as you can see here, he's giving me some pointers as to what exactly he would like to see here. Well, guys, now we're getting close. We're getting real close. So now we've managed to get the walls up and the front wall things right there too. We're gonna go ahead and start putting the behemoth gate pillars in. Hey, come back, you little shit. There we go. I hate when that happens. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put in these pillars. It's really important to get these properly done, because if you don't, you waste a lot of resources, especially when you're on officials. So I'm going to use the ladder here to align myself properly, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to snap it in properly. See if I can get that as close in as I can get it. Keep it relatively even. And this looks okay. Yep. It's looking good. I think I'm going to go ahead and snap that baby in. You like my underwear there, buddy? Made you look? Ah, of course, I screwed it up. I'm going to have to reset this now. Damn. Alright guys, the gates are in. It looks pretty good. I got a lot more walls to do now. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize just how crazy tall these things are all the time. Especially when you're building. So hopefully I can get those walls to go up through the top of the pillars. And everything should be good. It should be good. Every time I stack Behemoth on Behemoth, it always is just unbelievably how tall it is. I want to one day make a video where I can just go ahead and stack as many as I can. I know I've done 3 or 4 maximum. I think it was 3 way back in the day. But man, these things are freaking tall as hell. This is going to be a big pen. And Goose is checking it out. He's like, dude, like what the hell? It's like, trust me, man. Just trust me. I got this. I got this. Well guys, I've been at this for many hours right now. Just going out and farming and then coming back and doing a little more building takes quite a lot of time. But as you see, I got all the walls done. I'm working on the first part of the ceiling. It's going to be good. That wall in the back there that you see poking up is where all the electronics are going to lead up to the top part of it, so that we can have our turrets active up here. I'm going to go ahead and snap in all these first, because we need the foundation area where we can lay down our electronics in this roof ceiling area. So it's going to be almost like a it's going to be like a 1x1 kind of like one high space where you can run around in there and put down a bunch of electronics and stuff like that. So it's coming together. It's just taking quite some time. So we got the first part of the ceiling done. Now we're going to go ahead and clip the holes in front of the Behemoth gate off, so that when the actual door closes, there won't be a big gate that people can just barrel through or grapple through or whatever. So it's going to make it look a lot cleaner too. That's what I want. I want this to be as clean as possible, so that we can have the maximum amount of birds and wyverns, griffins, all that kind of stuff in here as we can. So you also want to protect the Behemoth gate slightly with these walls to prevent people from being able to blow the pillars. So if we ever get the front of the gate blown in, we can actually have a backup by the door so that we can just access it and then throw it back into place. So hopefully that'll help a lot too. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start laying down this wiring is going to go up to the top so that we can power our turrets. And it's going to look really nice, hopefully nice and clean, because we're going to have a bunch of ceilings going throughout this room so that we can lay our pterodons, argents, all that good stuff on it. So now we work on the wiring up on top. Now you see that this wiring sticks up quite a bit. Unfortunately, you can't quite get it to lay flat like it did on the layers below. So what we're gonna have to do is do that one wall ceiling gap, and then preferably inside that ceiling gap, what I would like to lay down is a bunch of like dino traps or anything, so if someone breaks the ceiling above and they get in, they get locked in place, or torpor traps or something goes off and hurts them a little bit. Maybe put some turrets in there as well. That would help a lot too. So we're going to go ahead, before we do any of the other layering, we're going to go ahead and snap in the actual turret areas we're going to leave here. And it's going to be quite a bit of turrets on here. I actually measured from the ground up. They are going to be just out of range when they get to this height. So we won't reach our max 100 down below, but we'll actually have more capacity to put more turrets on the top. So it's pretty good. It's just out of range of the 100 turrets. So it just worked out really well. Alright guys, it's about 12 o'clock at night right now. I'm getting pretty tired. I gotta go to bed to go to work tomorrow. But as you see here, I started to lay the inner part of the electronics down, and they snap into the electronics that are in that wall. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a grid work of wiring all across the top, so that I know a lot of people just do the outer perimeter of it, but the problem is if you break that, then you kind of lose the electricity on certain aspects of it. So we're going to cover the whole top. It doesn't take that much metal at all. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the additional parts onto the top of the ceilings. And then we're going to call it a night after we put down the turrets. Because the last thing I promised Goose before he logged off was that I'd make sure this was protected before I logged off. Because the worst thing you could do is to start something, log off, and then get it rated while you're off because it was not protected. So I've laid down the first set of turrets up there. I'm scoping everything, making sure they are within range and they're not over capacity and locked. But as you can see here, I'm making sure, see, those are over capacity. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to come over here, take a few off, move them further down the line so that everything works properly. Believe it or not, there is some really glitchy stuff going on with these turrets, because I have a few of them which will be over cap, but then right next to them there'll be one like 10 under cap. It's really weird. Maybe it's when you place them down they count as one. Not quite sure about how that works. If you guys understand that more, just leave me a message down below in the comments, because that really confused me for about 10 minutes. Well guys, it's the next day. As you can see here, we're going to go ahead and complete the insides of this actual area. We're going to go ahead and keep putting ceilings up here so we can have enough space for an Argent as well as any kind of pterodons. We can go ahead and put a few griffins on, making a little more half box ceiling kind of area, and it's going to be nice. It's going to be something that hopefully a few of you out there will like. I think it's a good solution for the moment, well, before we move over to the secondary base. But right now it is a good place for breeding. So if you want to breed a lot of pterodons really fast, or Argents and all that good stuff, you can do it. You can store all your lineages here, and it's not super in the way like it was down below. Well guys, it's almost done. It's been about a day or so. I've been working on this. It is getting to the point where I just want to get this over so I can go and have fun. But as you see right here, it came together really nice. We got some wyverns up there sticking out of the way. They take up quite a lot of space, especially with those tails flapping around everywhere. They really do prevent you from doing anything down below. We have the two turrets right there, as you see at the butt end of that wyvern up there in the section, that will point in and shoot people. So no one's going to be able to barrel roll in there. You get your double ceilings here, sandwiching the electronics. You get your open pen here. You have this area where you can store all your Argents down below. Above, you can put some Griffins in there. You can put some Argents or Pterodons. You can also store a Quetzal right here in this big area, or a Wyvern or two, depending on what you want to do. So it's coming nice. I want to put another ceiling or so above, just so we can store some of the, you know, the throwaway birds that we have that aren't very important. So if someone does blow through the top, they'll hit those birds first. But I put some I snapped in a pillar there in the corner, the two corners in the front and the back, so that we can go ahead and on the ceiling right here, we can lay down our second layer right here. So there we go. It's coming really nice. I'm gonna put the rest of the turrets up here. I just have to wait for someone to come on so that I can get the heavy ones made. I'm not 100 on this tune, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna snap in the ceilings right here so that we can finish it off. Well guys, that's the end of it. It's the only option we had. We were running out of space. We needed places to put our flying birds, and it worked. So I don't like necessarily to make ungodly tall vertical structures, just due to the fact that people can actually get to the top of it and then get down and do it relatively easy. But it's a good solution for what we have in this situation. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned a little bit and even just, you know, put it in the background and chilled and relaxed. And as you can see here, it's a pretty damn menacing looking structure in my opinion. I still don't like those behemoth gates, but there's nothing you can really do about that, guys. They just made them so damn big in this game. It's crazy. Anyways, see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for coming back to Titanshield Gaming.